In the golden city of Babylon, where wealth flowed like the Euphrates and wisdom was traded as dearly as gold, one man rose above them all. While others toiled and dreamed, he quietly mastered the timeless laws of money. His name was Arkad, the richest man in Babylon. But how did he rise from humble beginnings to the city's greatest fortune? Tonight, we step into the sands of history to uncover his secret, one that still builds wealth today. The young scribe's dream, long before Babylon called him its richest man, Arkad was just another ordinary worker, a humble scribe, copying tablets for merchants and nobles. His hands were quick, his eyes sharp, yet his heart was restless. For each clay tablet he inscribed, the reward was barely enough to fill his lamp with oil and his belly with bread. And while others were content to scrape by, Arkad's mind burned with a single question. Why did some men grow rich while others remained poor? Every morning as the sun painted the city walls gold, Arkad watched the wealthy ride past, their camels heavy with goods, their robes lined with jewels. They spoke with confidence, laughed without worry, and seemed to possess an invisible knowledge that eluded him. He wondered, what do they know that I do not? One evening, as the last rays of sunlight faded over the mighty walls, Arkad resolved to uncover that knowledge. I will not live out my days in small earnings and small dreams, he whispered to himself. If others can build wealth, so can I. Days turned into weeks as Arkad sought out every wise man he could find, traders, lenders, and temple scholars. Yet all offered him vague words or empty proverbs. None could explain how wealth was truly made and kept. Then one morning fortune smiled. A wealthy moneylender named Algamish entered the scribe's shop, demanding a set of tablets copied overnight. Arkad worked tirelessly through the night, his lamp flickering as the city slept. When he delivered the work at dawn, Algamish was impressed by his diligence. You are a scribe of great skill, Algamish said. Tell me, what reward do you wish for such work? Arkad hesitated, then spoke the question that had haunted him for years. Sir, you are a rich man. Tell me, how did you come by your wealth? Teach me your secret, and that shall be my reward. Algamish studied him for a long moment, then nodded slowly. You are bold, young man. Most men ask for gold, yet you ask for wisdom. Very well, I shall teach you one truth, if you promise to use it. Arkad agreed eagerly, his heart racing. And so, Algamish leaned closer and spoke softly. A part of all you earn is yours to keep. Arkad frowned, confused. But master, all that I earn is mine to keep. The old lender smiled. So you think. Yet each month you pay others. The baker, the cloth merchant, the sandal maker. You keep nothing for yourself. Learn this. Save at least 1/10 of all you earn and watch it grow. Wealth begins not with gold, but with discipline. Those words struck Arkad like thunder. A part of all you earn is yours to keep. Simple, yet powerful. He thanked Algamish deeply, but the old man warned, many hear this truth and still remain poor. For knowing and doing are not the same. Start now, and one day you shall stand where I stand. From that day on, Arkad obeyed. With every coin he earned, he set aside 1/10. At first it felt small and slow, but as the months passed, his purse began to grow heavier and his spirit lighter. He no longer worked only to survive, he worked to build. And soon the once poor scribe would discover that saving was only the first step on the long road to wealth. The city of Babylon was about to reveal even deeper secrets for those who had the courage to listen. The lessons of Algamish. Let your gold work for you. Time moved on, and Arkad's purse grew heavier with each passing moon. He had learned to keep 1/10 of all he earned, as Algamish advised. At first it was a struggle, for the temptations of Babylon were endless. The market glittered with fine jewelry, sweet perfumes, and bright fabrics. But Arkad resisted, holding to the promise he made that day. After a year of saving, Arkad looked upon his small pile of coins with pride. He felt rich, richer than ever before. At last, he thought, my gold is working for me. But youth is eager, and wisdom takes time to ripen. Eager to multiply his savings, Arkad sought opportunities to invest. He gave his coins to a friend, a brickmaker, who promised to buy rare jewels from across the sea and sell them for great profit. The plan sounded exciting, but when the merchant returned, the jewels turned out to be worthless glass. In a single moment, Arkad lost everything: his savings, his confidence, and nearly his hope. Ashamed, he went back to Algamish. "Master," he said, "I did as you taught. I saved a tenth of all I earned, but now, through bad fortune, it is gone." Algamish's eyes narrowed. "Bad fortune, you say?" "Nay, Arkad, it was bad judgment. You asked advice of a brickmaker on the trade of jewels. Why did you not seek counsel from one who knows such business?" Arkad bowed his head. "You speak truth. I was blinded by the hope of quick gain." Algamish smiled faintly. "And that blindness has cost you your gold. Remember this: the fool and his money are soon parted. Guard your treasure with wisdom, for gold slips away from those who trust it to unwise hands." He paused, then added, "Gold flees from the man who forces it into impossible earnings. It works faithfully for the wise owner who finds it safe and profitable employment. Let your gold work for you, but only under the counsel of the skilled." Those words pierced Arkad's pride but strengthened his resolve. He started over, saving again, wiser than before. He sought the advice of those who understood trade: merchants, lenders, and builders, who knew the laws of money like priests knew the stars. This time, his gold began to return with companions. His savings grew not by chance, but by understanding. He learned that money, like a loyal servant, must be trained and guided. If left idle, it does nothing. But if placed in good service, it multiplies. Years passed. Arkad became known among his peers for his prudence and quiet confidence. The once restless scribe now carried himself with calm assurance, and when others spent their earnings as fast as they earned them, Arkad's wealth flowed steadily, like a river that never ran dry. Then one day, Algamish returned to the city, old and weary from his travels. Seeing Arkad, he said, "Tell me, young man, what have you done with my teachings?" Arkad recounted how he had lost his first savings, but gained wisdom in return. He spoke of how his gold now worked for him faithfully, bringing profit without risk or haste. Algamish laughed heartily. "Well said. You have learned the second law of gold. Make it multiply. A man's wealth is not measured by the coins in his purse, but by the income his gold earns while he sleeps." He studied Arkad for a long while, then added, "You have learned what few men ever do, that the road to riches is paved not with luck, but with discipline. You may have stumbled, but your fall was your teacher." Arkad bowed deeply. "And you, master, were my guide." Algamish placed a hand on his shoulder. "Then I shall teach you one more thing. Wealth grows wherever men apply knowledge, patience, and care. You now have the seed. Water it well." That day marked a new dawn for Arkad. No longer was he the eager scribe chasing dreams. He had become a student of the laws of wealth, a man who understood that every coin has a duty, every saving has a purpose, and every mistake carries a lesson. In the heart of Babylon, where the sands whispered secrets of old, Arkad had begun to unlock the second key to lasting prosperity: to make his gold not a master, but a faithful servant. The making of a wise man: protecting your wealth. As Arkad's fortune grew, so too did his understanding. He had learned the first great law: to save a tenth of all he earned. He had mastered the second: to make his gold work for him. Yet the journey toward true wealth was not complete, for as every wise man of Babylon knew, keeping wealth was far harder than earning it. Arkad soon discovered this truth when envy and temptation returned to test him once again. With his growing riches came new desires: grander robes, finer foods, and the attention of merchants who whispered promises of easy profit. One day a stranger approached him with a plan to invest in exotic spices brought by caravan from the east. "The return shall be swift," the man said. and the profits beyond imagining. The proposal glittered with excitement, yet something in Arkad's heart hesitated. He remembered Algamish's warning, "Guard your treasure from loss." So Arkad sought advice from those wiser than himself. He spoke with merchants who had long traded in goods from distant lands. One said, "Those who promise large returns often deliver nothing but wind." Another added, "A man who would preserve his wealth must invest only where his principal is safe and where it may be reclaimed if needed." Listening carefully, Arkad thanked them and declined the stranger's offer. Days later, he heard that the man's caravan had been seized by desert raiders. Those who invested lost everything. Arkad smiled quietly. His gold had been spared not by luck, but by prudence. That night, under the soft glow of an oil lamp, he wrote upon a small clay tablet, "Wealth, like a tree, grows slowly if tended wisely, but can be felled in an instant by reckless hands." And so he came to understand the third great law of wealth: protect thy treasure from loss. Arkad began to counsel others who sought his wisdom. Many came, scribes, merchants, and even soldiers returning from distant wars. Some mocked his cautious ways, saying, "Why hide your gold when you can double it in daring ventures?" But Arkad replied gently, "Gold that is quickly gained often departs the same way. Wealth is a patient servant. It rewards those who treat it with respect." Over the years, his gold continued to multiply, not through risky gambles, but through sound investments that built slowly and steadily. He lent money to reliable traders, invested in fields that yielded harvests each season, and ensured that every coin he risked was shielded by wisdom. In time, his reputation spread across Babylon. He was no longer the poor scribe who once copied tablets late into the night, but a man whose name carried the scent of prosperity. People sought him not only for his wealth, but for the calm confidence that seemed to radiate from within him. For Arkad had learned another truth. Wealth brings not only gold, but peace. The anxious heart of his youth, the one that once envied the rich, had grown quiet. He no longer measured success by what others possessed, but by the strength of his own discipline. And yet, he remained humble. Often he would walk through the bustling markets of Babylon and pause before the young scribes scratching their symbols into clay. He saw himself in them, the same hunger for knowledge, the same longing for a better life. To them he would say, "The gods favor those who act with wisdom. Save first, invest with care, and your gold shall guard you in return." As the sun set over the great city and the air cooled with the scent of palm and spice, Arkad looked out upon the world he had once feared to dream of. He realized that true richness was not in having gold, but in understanding gold. And with that realization, he had uncovered the third key to enduring prosperity: to protect his wealth as a shepherd guards his flock, knowing that one careless night may scatter it to the wind. The young scribe had grown into a wise man, and the wise man was becoming something greater, a teacher of men, destined to share Babylon's eternal laws of wealth with generations yet to come. The 7 cures for a lean purse. Years passed, and Arkad's name became a symbol of wisdom throughout Babylon. From the palace to the marketplace, men spoke of his prosperity and good judgment. So when the king of Babylon summoned him to teach the citizens how to grow rich, Arkad did not refuse. He believed that wealth, like knowledge, grew stronger when shared. Under the golden dome of the temple, hundreds gathered. Soldiers, merchants, scribes, and laborers all came to hear the richest man in Babylon reveal his secrets. Arkad rose and spoke calmly, his voice carrying across the stone hall. "Friends of Babylon," he began, "I was once as poor as the poorest among you. I earned but a few coppers each day, and I spent all that I earned. But a wise man taught me the laws that govern wealth, the same laws that enrich any man who obeys them. They are simple, yet eternal. Hear them and apply them diligently." He lifted his hand and declared, "The first cure, start thy purse to fattening. Save 1/10 of all you earn. No matter how small, begin now. A fat purse builds confidence and power. The second cure, control thy expenditures. Do not mistake desires for needs. The man who spends all he earns lives forever in poverty. The third cure: make thy gold multiply. Let your savings work for you. Money is like a servant. Command it wisely, and it will labor for your gain. The fourth cure: guard thy treasures from loss. Invest only where your principal is safe, and seek advice from men skilled in their trade. The fifth cure: make of thy dwelling a profitable investment. Own your home, that it may shelter you and strengthen your foundation. The sixth cure: ensure a future income. Prepare for the days when strength fades. Provide for your family in your old age, that peace may dwell in your heart. The seventh cure: increase thy ability to earn. Cultivate wisdom, sharpen your skills, and learn more each day. The man who improves himself multiplies his fortune. The crowd listened in reverent silence. Every word struck them like sunlight breaking through clouds. For these were not tricks or secrets, but laws of life, truths that had built Babylon's wealth for centuries. When Arkad finished, the king himself stood and said, "You have given Babylon not gold, but a greater treasure, knowledge." Arkad bowed and replied, "Gold comes and goes, my lord, but the man who understands its laws can rebuild it at will. Wealth is a tree that grows from the seed of discipline, watered by wisdom and guarded by prudence." The people left the temple that day with new hope. Many began to save their first tenth, others sought wise investments, and in time Babylon prospered as never before. The city's walls shone brighter, its markets thrived, and even the humblest worker began to feel the quiet pride of control over his own life. As Arkad walked home that evening beneath the starlit sky, he felt a deep peace within him. He had achieved not only riches, but purpose. His gold no longer defined him, it served him, and the wisdom he once sought as a poor scribe now guided an entire city. He smiled softly and whispered, "The gods have favored the man who learns, for learning is the gateway to every fortune." The night breeze carried the scent of cedar and promise, as if Babylon itself listened. From scribe to sage, Arkad's journey revealed the timeless laws of wealth: to save, to invest, and to guard each coin with wisdom. Yet as his riches grew, so did the curiosity of Babylon itself. The people longed to know how they too might fill their empty purses and live in prosperity. And soon Arkad would rise before them once more, ready to share the greatest of his teachings: the 7 cures for a lean purse.